Hello, it's Renee. I'm here with something that is supposed to be creepy. Content warnings include religious imagery, physical violence, torture, existential horror. And the rules are simple. When you click on a link, you must do the action it tells you to do. If you are unable to or willing to do the action, think hard about it. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. But it seemed creepy and it seemed like something I would like to do. I have made my room dark. It is the middle of the day, but it is dark in my room. Okay, are you sure you understand? Whenever you click a link, you have to do the action the link says. Say I understand. Yes, I understand. To pass through the cataclysm unharmed, they had to take your memories, your name. You are nobody. You are a godchild. Make the sign of the cross, right hand touching the collarbone, bottom of the rib cage, right heart, left heart. Wait. I have a right heart and a left heart? Okay. Whoosh. Okay, did it. The youth pastor sees you out of the corner of his eye, stares at you quizzically. What is your name? He says, a voice echoing through the church halls. Say nothing, you do not know. The youth pastor's many golden eyes soften as he waits for your answer. Name unknown, he says after a minute. We will call you Jacob. What is your name? My name is Jacob. The youth pastor looks pleased. Correct, he says. It is your God-given name. He continues passionately. I am no longer alone. I have a cat here now. You want to come into my lap? I don't know how this will work. And he does not make mistakes. You bow your head in deference as the youth pastor rushes by. I have bowed my head. Right. Looks like you have a little time to figure out your surroundings. Blink twice as a sniff. Hold your breath so the youth pastor doesn't hear you. Say hey to the godchild sitting to your left. The room is bright, warm. God's light shines through the window and pushes sin out of the room. God sees everything his light touches. It's a small room, maybe a half-mile across, full of folding chairs. Something's very wrong with the air in this room. Oh. The air in the room is sweet, cloying. You do not know what's in it, and you really don't want to. Tense up as the bell chimes for noon. It's time for the second service of the day. You hope you don't get choosers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, fuck, 2 years later. Make the sign of the cross. It's routine. At this point, sloppy. You are wearing altar robes, holding a tutor. Don't know how that's pronounced. Never heard of that one. It's 8 in the morning on a Wednesday, in the middle of service. You are exhausted. Your job is to stand here, very still, till the end of the sermon. Straighten your back. Sit as stiff as possible. That is impossible with a cat in my lap. No, it isn't. The cat left, though. Preacher has spent the last 20 minutes talking about God's all-accepting light, his love, how he will destroy our enemies and bring love to the world again. It's too warm in these robes. Slouch a little bit. You probably have another half an hour before you needed to put out the candles. Close your eyes and take a long breath. Tilt your head to the side to hear the sermon better. Shiver and worry about the end of the ceremony. You memorize your steps. Mother, choice, confession. Choice, confession, retribution, candle. Choice. You see Joyce in the congregation and hope she isn't chosen. Confession. The chosen confesses their sins and is absolved. Retribution. The image has been burned into your head 100 times. Candle. You snuff out that person's light. 22 down. 43,824,810,042 across. They tell you the number beforehand, but not the name. Squeeze your eyes shut. Count to 2. Open your eyes. 1, 2. It's the 4 C's. Easy to remember. Well, 3 C's. Lean back. Half closed. You're so tired. You didn't sleep last night. Too busy worrying about today's ceremony. This is your first time with the tutor. Doubter? Tutor? I don't know. It doesn't seem like much, but doing it wrong can mean bad things. You don't want to think about it. Lean back farther. Close your eyes. Shoulder upright. Can't fall asleep. Can't fall asleep. Can't fall asleep. Sway in a circle. Head drooping. Droop your head forward. You're in a small dark room, sitting in a chair across from a woman in a blank grey mask. Who are you? She tilts her head to the side, facing you. After a minute she speaks. We used to know each other. My name is Dora. I'm sorry you don't remember. It wasn't safe until you got through the catechism shielding. She waits to see if this sparks recognition in your eyes. After a second she sighs and continues. You're one of the few spies we have on the inside. Getting in the godlight is difficult, to say the least. We're counting on you and the others. What do you want me to do? You don't know how a mask could look sad, yet you are. Dora? Dora continues. In a few years, you're going to have to do something very difficult. It's going to hurt very much, and afterwards you'll question whether it was worth it, whether it was right. But I promise, in the end, everything will be okay. She stands up and takes your hand. I'm so sorry. The sound of a bell toll shakes you awake. You're glad you didn't fall asleep. You didn't fall over while you were asleep. Nobody's looking at you. Good. Straighten your back like you didn't just fall asleep in the church. Looks like the sermon finally ended. The congregation stands to sing one last song together before. Shake your head quickly to get the thought out of it. A spotlight sweeps over the congregation. 40 billion souls. Pray it doesn't land on them. Hold your breath. Keep it held. It's getting closer to Josie's spot. Keep holding your breath. Getting even closer. Keep holding your breath. And at last minute it swings away. It points, laser focus, to Pew 824,936, right in the center. The godchild is sitting there, tall and lanky. In an instant, he's beside you. Stiffen up, trying hardest not to look at him. The preacher, still on the pulpit microphone, looks back at the godchild. My child, the preacher says, what have you done to offend God? Keep looking at the computer. Don't look away from the screen no matter what. Keep your eyes and gaze fixed. You don't want to see what happens. The godchild's voice cracks and as he speaks. I don't know. I guess I must have slacked off on the chores once or twice. I try to keep my station clean, but I don't know, maybe I slept in. The preacher looks back at him, and his voice softens. My child, is that all? There must be something wrong for God to bring you up here. It is safe. You can confess. Your sins will be absolved. Keep looking at the computer. Don't look away from the screen, no matter what. Keep your gaze fixed. You don't want to see what happens. The God's child breaks down crying. The preacher cocks one of his heads to the side. Oh, I'm so sorry, he says, shaking between sobs. In your periphery. I stole some cookies from the bake sale. I didn't know it was that bad. I was hungry and... The preacher cuts him off. My child, thank you for admitting that. Now we may proceed. Proceed. You hear a gasp to your left. Glance over. On the back. Don't look at the noise. You don't want to imagine the scene happening right next to you. You do your best to remain expressionless as the preacher continues. You are absolved of your sins, the preacher says. Now that you are free of mortal things, we can make an angel out of you. You hear a scream that silences itself almost immediately. Stay perfectly still, eyes fixed ahead. This is the pain of renewal. The preacher continues. The price we all pay to live in God's light is that of toil. We must give back to our communities. We must never stop striving to do what's right by Him. And so we take that pain, every ounce of pain that everyone ever felt, and put into one person so that they can truly know what God sacrificed for us. Your name is now Michael, he declares. You hear a crumpling sound next to you, followed by a slapping sound on the ground. Sneak a glance to your left. A glimpse, the godchild, no, the angel, Michael, is writing on the ground. Crystals jut out of his back, banging against the floor as the angel's system is flooded with every hurt possible. He can't scream yet. In a month, when he remembers how to, it will echo through the church halls and back. There's a pause. The preacher looks at you pointedly. Shake your head to snap out of the daze. Right, your job. You can do this. The godchild doesn't need his candle anymore. The fire is inside him. That night you dream about Dora. She doesn't say anything to you. So we were a godchild. Or like one of these. We were one of them. We didn't remember our name. And we are now Jacob. Close your eyes, count to 10 slowly, and open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 years later. Make a vague gesture over your heart. It's vague. It's vague. You wake up in your small bed in your dark corner, one of the few places where God's light doesn't directly touch. You know He can still see you, but it still makes sleeping easier. You spend a lot of your nights talking to Dora. She is reticent to say much that could expose her, but she is there for you. She listens, gives advice, lets you know what's normal and what isn't. You close your eyes and rub your face with your hands. There's a cat in my lap. Again, she came back. You remember talking with Dora before you woke up. I don't feel right. I mean, I feel the same as I usually do, but I feel... The way I feel doesn't match how the others feel. You feel more comfortable talking, taking long pauses with Dora. She's patient, slow to speak. Tilt your head to the left. See if you have any neck cracks in you. I do, in fact, have a couple of them. Dora, as always, chooses her words carefully before she speaks. I think I understand. Can you tell me more? It's hard for you to explain it. It's like I can talk easily to you. I can talk to Joyce and Laura and Martha easy, but whenever I try to talk to other guys, I just can't get through to them. I know it's stupid. I don't know. Never mind. Dora stays quiet behind her mask for a minute. Tilt your head to the right this time to see if you have neck cracks on that side. Oh, I did. Dora sighs, and with some difficulty takes off her mask. There's not much that you didn't know already about her behind the mask, but for once you can see the sorrow in her deep brown eyes instead of intuition in it. She started calling you Jay. For a few months ago, after you asked her to try it out, I never told her to stop. I need to tell you something. What is it? Stretch. Thank you. A few years ago, I told you there would come a day when you would have to do the hardest thing you've ever done, that would haunt you for the rest of your life, that you would spend a long time wondering if you could have done things differently. Today is that day. She watches your face for a couple seconds. Close your eyes, sigh, not determined. I'm so sorry. Shake the dream from your head. Most of the day passes in a blur. You clean your station, attend the morning service, have a scrap of bitter bread for lunch. There's a hushed tone throughout delight today, though you can't get a straight answer out of anyone for why. As you're waiting for the afternoon service, Joyce sits down next to you. Hey, she whispers. Hey. Did you hear? Joyce whispers to you. You're about what? Joyce responds. You didn't hear this from me, but I heard God is gonna be here tonight. You feel your stomach drop. Joyce, I need to tell you something. This could be your last chance to talk to her. I can't explain, but make sure you're somewhere safe tonight. Lock the doors. Don't come out no matter what you hear. I don't think I'm a guy. This is... Thank you. I don't think I'm a guy. And this. Of course I'm gonna... I said it once already, okay? Don't come out no matter what happens. What? I know it sounds weird, but promise me? I promise, she whispers back. She looks like she has something she wants to say, but then the service starts. Make the sign of the cross on your chest again. You're walking to the lesson after service when the first blast hits. Shields your face with your hand. It's time. You don't know where to go, so you just start running. Hunch over, keeping your head low. The halls are mysteriously empty. No matter where you run, you can't find anyone else. Eventually you stop running, somewhere in 4051st Diocese, near the altar production chambers. The air is hazy with warmth. Cough and take a ragged breath. Jacob, my child, you hear from behind you. It's Michael, the angel. You haven't seen him since the ceremony. His face is vacant and gaunt, but his body moves with purpose. His crystal wings touch the sides of the hall. He strides towards you. Lean back, scared. Do not be afraid, he says. I bring deliverance to the Lord. Do you accept? Hesitantly nod. You can't see any other way this ends. In an instant you're pulled into a side room. It's tiny, maybe 10 meters across. That's not tiny. There are 2 chairs facing each other. One of them is empty. The other is occupied by God. Turns to you and says, please have a seat. Before the end of the sentence, you're somehow in the chair. You jump in your seat, startled. You don't know what you've expected of the God to look like, but this wasn't it. He is old, he is thin and broken, and he has the saddest look on his face. We're taught that he was perfect, but he looks like to you. Looks like you, a God-child, the most holy and wretched shape there is, full of sin and suffering and pain. I know what you're here to do, he says. I know about your dreams. Jay, I'm so sorry. You feel rage bubbling in your heart. Form a fist. He continues. I want you to know you punched God in the fucking face. That was a... Slam your fist against something. He wipes some blood from his mouth. I understand. You punch him again. He sits still, watching you. Why won't you stop me? Because you're doing the right thing. Michael looks on from the corner of the room dispassionately. You punch him again. You slam your fist into something. God is doubled over in a chair now, but he keeps his eyes trained on you. Why did you let this happen? All this pain, all this fear. Why, God? Why? I tried my best, Jay. I honestly did. I know it's not enough. I'm so sorry. He starts crying. You punch him again. Everything's broken. It's all your fault. I know. He pauses to wipe away the blood from his mouth. You can see the veins bulging through his hands. I made a mistake a long time ago, and I've been paying for it ever since. You're right to hate me. You're right to hurt me. You're right to kill me. I'm sorry. You hate doing this. You hate him. You hate being alive, feeling trapped. You hate everything. You punch him again, right in the mouth. Slam your fist into something. You hear something snap in him. You don't know how much more he can take. You don't care. Slam your fist into something over and over again until you're tired. Sorry. Can't cuss up blood. He's barely breathing. I did not breathe out properly. Sorry. Makes a sound. I don't like it. A sudden rush of fear comes out over you. You can't really die, can you? I mean, you're God. Shaking, he meets your gaze one last time. That would be true if I were a god. It's a cult. We knew that already. It's just a person who's trying. I'm just a person who's trying to do the right thing. He slumps over in the chair, stays still, unsure. Slowly, one by one, the lights in the church go out. GODKILLER, Brigade 10 trillion. Heather Robertson, thank you for playing. Thank you for making it. This was her nightmare? That was what I've figured out. Anyway, that was creepy. Not as terrifying as I expected it to be. I guess I did it a little too well. But thank you for watching. I hope you like this. Have a good day and bye.